Every disease that gives you superpowers is explained in 6 minutes. What?
Polymelia.
What disease give me superpowers? Chat, if AIDS gave you superpowers, would you get AIDS? If AIDS gave you super speed, would you get foot in the butt for AIDS?
Polymelia. Polymelia is a rare genetic mutation that causes a person to be born with more than the usual limbs, even though...
Is that what I had? Is that why I had more extra fingers?
In most cases, the extra ones are deformed, shrunk, or completely useless. However, this wasn't the case for
Ew! Wait! What the fuck? I thought he was gonna look cool like this. The fuck is that? I'm sorry. That's fucked up. I didn't mean that. I'm actually sorry. That's fucked up. But they made it seem like it was gonna be like, I'm actually sorry. I apologize. I meant ill because of strut. Like, they didn't got no swag. Like, wait, what y'all thought I was talking about? I'm talking about his fucking, first of all, his hairline cut in his shorts, but really he's a jit. You probably can't afford good shorts and shit. What are y'all talking about? The shorts is just not trimmed, gang. That's good shorts? Your jacket not trim? Okay, we don't got a lie now. We don't got a lie now. Who jacket not trim? The Adidas. They're not Adidas shorts, gang. Only Cardi could wear it. Cardi got on my jacket.
Case for Deepak Paswan in India. He was born with 4 completely functional arms and 4 completely functional legs, which caused pilgrims to come to him from all over India and worship him, as Hindu religions often depict deities as having multiple limbs.
Whole time he had a disease.
Eventually, though, scientists figured out that the extra limbs came from a parasitic twin that hadn't developed in the womb and somehow fused with him. The extra limbs also weren't fully controlled by him, as they randomly moved, so they just decided to remove them, enabling him to live a normal life. Myostatin-related muscle hypertrophy.
Oh, okay, now this gotta be calm. This is a Hulk. I want this one.
This disease gives super strength, as affected people have over twice the usual muscle mass of the average human. It's caused by a mutation of the MSTN gene.
What if all these bodybuilders got this disease, bro?
Responsible for limiting muscle growth, but in this disease, it doesn't properly work. A famous example of this disease is Liam Hoekstra, who's been jacked since he was a kid and could do a pull-up at 8 months old, had a six-pack at 3 years old, and could lift 3-kilogram dumbbells with—
Is this what I got? Is this what I got? Is that why I'm like up and shit? Is this that shit I got? Probably.
His arm fully extended at just 3 years old. It's one of the only diseases on this list with no known medical complication.
You just
hyperthymestic syndrome. This disease enables people to remember huge amounts of relatively random information, basically giving them super memory. However,
or is this the one I got?
There's a catch. They can't choose what they remember, so they might remember what they ate on a random day, but they might forget what they studied for their next exam.
I'm not gonna lie,
some say that hyperthymestic individuals appear to have poorer than average memory when they actually actively try to remember something. They describe their memories as uncontrollable associations. For example, when they see a date, they see a vivid depiction of that day in their heads without hesitation or conscious effort. Unfortunately, this disease can make it difficult to sustain long-term relationships and can cause loneliness. People with hyperthymesia also—
Okay, that's one thing about me. I don't get lonely. Chat, do y'all get lonely? Y'all ever lonely? I think when you hella busy, you just get too busy to be lonely, bro. If you're hella busy, I don't think you could get lonely, bro. I can remember the last time I felt lonely. Even when I was a kid, though, like, I never felt that emotion. I don't know what lonely feeling feels like. I don't know what that feels like. I know what being bored feels like. You're in silence and struggle, but I'm never like, I wish I had someone next to me. That seems like weird to me. Lonely. What the fuck does lonely feel like? I swear on my life, I never felt lonely. It feel like isolation. I could be alone, nobody to talk to, and I'll feel bored. Like nobody could fuck with me. I have no one to talk to. I'm alone in a dark house for weeks. I'll be bored, but not lonely. Are you sure you're lonely? Well, that's lonely. No, I feel like lonely. If you're lonely, you don't like the feeling. Bored is lonely. When I think of lonely, I think of a sad emotion. Is loneliness not like sad? It is, it kind of. Depends on how you feel. I don't know.
Have difficulties letting go of difficult events or traumatic memories, which can stay with them for life. Fortunately, though, it is extraordinarily rare, with fewer than 100 people in the world having been diagnosed with it. Stone Man syndrome. Also known as fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, this disease allows people to regenerate damaged body parts with bones instead of the original
what?
Stone Man syndrome. Also known as fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, this disease allows people to regenerate damaged body parts with bones instead of the original damaged part. For example, if a person with this disease injured his biceps instead of new muscle tissue, he would grow bone tissue.
What the fuck? You'll just die. Braun got that? Braun got some other shit. I'm getting Braun cartilage on my knees, so it's cool. We got the same, you know what I'm saying? We got the same plug.
Is the only known medical condition where one organ system changes into another, and it ultimately leaves sufferers immobilized as new bone replaces
like you won't be able to move
musculature and fuses with the existing skeleton, which is why it's called Stone Man syndrome. Unfortunately, this disease is almost always deadly. The superficial bones aren't even removable, as if they're cut more will appear when it
If this was a fucking anime or cartoon, the nigga would have superpowers and shit, but like that's not real life.
Savant syndrome. This disorder, which is sometimes paired with autism and Asperger's, makes the patient extremely talented at a variety of tasks, such as calculations, drawing, painting, photography, and much more. As an example of how incredible this might get, Stephen Wiltshire, a man who was diagnosed with savant syndrome, was able to draw a precise map of London after flying over it just once. However, people with savant syndrome are usually really good at one specific task, but lack social skills. Congenital insensitivity to pain.
This might be me. Because when I got shot, let me show you. Entry ruined. Exit. It didn't hurt that bad. Wait. Is this spoilers? He don't feel pain?
An estimated 1 in every 25,000 people suffers from this genetic condition, which
he was crying like a hoe with that axe. Not because of the pain. I didn't cry. I literally couldn't cry. I was scared that I lost my eye. Not because of the pain, because like, fuck, I'm done. I have no eye.
Completely shuts off the pain signaling pathways, as patients have a mutation of this gene, which is supposed to develop pain-sensing nerve cells. People with it usually can't know or understand what pain feels like or really is, even though they can feel emotional pain or touch. Even though this might seem amazing, it's important to note that pain is one of the most important survival tools, and people with this condition usually die in their childhood, as they injure themselves without knowing. For some reason, there's a village in Sweden called Vittangi, which has an out-of-the-order amount of people suffering from this disease.
What? Is it fucking incest or some shit? What the fuck is happening?
Tetrachromacy. If you tried to imagine a new color, you wouldn't be able to. Your brain would just glitch. People with tetrachromacy...
What? Are you slow? What the hell is the other reason for only one village in the world just... The genetics just say that they keep breeding with people around there and shit? Like,
however, don't have to imagine new colors because they actually see them. Humans' eyes have 3 types of cone cells, which enable us to see a part of the light spectrum, while some other animals, especially birds, fishes,
you said incest. Yeah, it could have started like that. You know you get some wacky-ass diseases with incest, right? You get some crazy shit.
reptiles have 4. This means that the organism may see wavelengths beyond those of a typical human's vision, and may be able to distinguish between colors that, to a normal human, appear to be identical. In humans, tetrachromacy is extremely rare, to the point that some don't even believe it exists, but there was one account where a woman was found to have an additional cone type, which was a sort of intermediate between M and L. Trichodento.
Bro, that just reminded me that Greg is colorblind. That shit be pissing me off, bro. You think he trolling me, bro? Because he been saying that since he was a kid. I've been wanting to slap him in his face. Would we looking for the clothes? Remember the brown and the green shit? Is that Cat? You think he's trolling me? Like, from the camera view, did he look like he was serious or trolling? It's called being retarded. Ableist. He he looked like he was dead serious. Test him low key one time. Yo, we gotta catch him. No, that's gonna be our inside. Yo, next time we do IRL chat, we gonna catch his ass. We gonna catch him. Y'all gotta be like noticing.
Osseous syndrome. This disease, which affects only a couple thousand people worldwide, basically gives people indestructible and super dense bones, so much so that they've reportedly been able to break baseball bats and withstand car crashes. This happens because they have a mutation
I think I got this
in the
shit.
DLX
I think I got this.
which works on bone density. However, there are some bad drawbacks, such as having teeth that
I don't have
painfully and easily,
I don't have
having
this.
brittle nails, and having dry, curly, and flaky hair.
Never
As a
mind.
fun fact,
I don't got
it's
this
being
shit.
studied as a
What the fuck is
potential
that?
cure for
That's just fucking hideous.
osteoporosis, which affects the elderly by increasing their chances of breaking their bones.
Pause. I literally have my knees are borderline osteoporosis, but that's cartilage though. That's fucking arthritis.
Sometimes causing death. Hyperlexia. If a kid between the age of 2 and 4 years old is able to read everything perfectly, and he's obsessed by numbers or letters, he might have hyperlexia, which is a syndrome characterized by a child's precocious ability to read. The problem with this, however, is that it's basically fake reading, as they're able to say out loud the words on a piece of paper, but they're unable to understand what they're reading. The cause is still unknown, but it's thought that it has a certain overlap with autism, with some claiming that about 84% of hyperlexic kids suffer from autism as well. Vampire syndrome.
Vampire syndrome. The fuck?
Also known as hypohidrotic ectodermal dysplasia, it gives affected people pointed teeth and pale skin, and they're usually very thin, with eyes outlined with dark circles. And
at one point, I thought I had this, bro. That was a dark time in life, bro. I didn't leave the house. That was a point where my sleep schedule chat for a whole year was almost waking up when the sun was dark, bro. Oh my God. That was a depressing ass year. Bro, I woke up every day for a year damn near at nighttime.
With no hair. While looking like a vampire might sound cool to some, people with this disease have to constantly check their temperature and stay away from the sun, as they don't have sweat glands that can keep their internal temperature stable when it gets hotter. As an example, famous actor Michael Berryman has this.
Jesus Christ!
If you want to discuss this video or suggest an idea for the next one, join my Discord. Link in the description.
That's interesting. How old is he? Chill? No, I said Jesus Christ at the fucking...
If you want to discuss the internal temperature stable when it gets hot.
I look back at this right here.
Famous actor...
This nigga, SpongeBob, I just realized how fucking chopped shit he looked in that episode where all the water and shit was happening.
Michael Berryman has this disorder. If you want to discuss...